everybody to a new video, and this video is going to be about Lenormand cards. As you know, to me it is very important that we stick to original meanings of the cards when we do divination with the Lenormand cards, because in my opinion it's very important to avoid some false steps in divination. Let me explain. We have here two decks of cards. The one is a Lenormand card deck, another one a reprint, and we have a deck of playing cards from Italy. When you go and buy your Lenormand cards and a deck of playing cards, you will have a difference, because within the Lenormand cards you will find normally a small booklet that tells you more about the way how you read the fortune with these cards. So there was someone who had created a system about using these cards just like core meanings, for example. And since the first date these cards were available in history, they came with this small instruction booklet, or at least an instruction sheet that is called the sheet of Philip. When you buy an ordinary playing card deck, no matter where, you won't find such instructions. So you can be, I call it, you can be free in your mind to create meanings for the cards. And often you see, especially in playing card meanings, that from region to region in a country or from country to country or culture to culture, there will be different significations. For example, the spades are often seen as the dark cards. In German system, the clubs are more darker than the spades, for example. So it depends on the region from where you learned it, on the tradition. So there isn't a kind of guide for it. So you can go and set your own guide, your own system. With the sheet of Philippe, with the original instructions from the Lenormand, we have a kind of guide, and it is important to follow it, or to, yes, not to ignore it, because by time, with modern fortune telling, modern divination styles, people began to put a lot of significations and core meanings for one card. In the beginning, the Lenormand, it was very simple with the meanings, and there weren't that 1,000 meanings for the card. It is something that came by time with free interpretation and the so-called intuitive style. And unfortunately, I have seen that very often the roots were forgotten in divination or in interpretation of the card. I want to explain this to you in an example that I'm going to show you with a Lenormand card. And yes, I want you to know that maybe you keep in mind to take a closer look at the original meanings, because they are really giving the most important message, and they won't show your spread in a wrong light. In the first video of Lenormand missteps, I want to talk with you about the cross card, the last card in the game. When we look back at the original instructions of the Lenormand cards, it is said that the cross is always a sign of misfortune. But if the cross is close to the person card, there is the hope, or you can have hope, that the misfortune is not long lasting. So this card is telling you in general, wherever this card is in your spread, that it is a sign of misfortune coming your way. Now you should take a closer look where you find this card. Is this card far away from you, or is this card close to you? If the card is close, you can be, yes, you can take a deep breath, because the misfortune is not long lasting. If the card is located far away, you have to move on with caution, because the uncomfortable situation might really last a little bit longer. So this is the essence of the card. It's misfortune. In modern times, a lot of people I have seen are using this card as a karma card. So with this meaning, the card suddenly changes a lot. I don't like this interpretation of karma, because we have to look back when the cards, the Lenormand cards, were created, and especially in what country they were created. And looking back in time, it is sure that in the time where the cards were created and in the country where these cards were created, the karma wasn't an important thing in culture at this time. People did not know about, and it wasn't a cultural thing. People were different at this time. So, at least in that region where the cards were created and appeared first. So, in my opinion, it was never the intention of the creators of the Lenormand to put this card under the light of karma. And we have to be careful, because very fast you can say, when you use this karma interpretation, you can say, oh, this situation is brought to you by karma, or you have got a real life task or challenge to go through because it's your destination, it's your destiny. And according to the original Lenormand instructions, this isn't absolutely not. This is not the sense, because it's misfortune and it's not talked about you have to learn something or it's a life challenge or it's your destiny to go through. So I think we should be careful if we want to use the karma interpretation. For example, you have this combination, the man and the cross. Now, some people immediately would say, oh, this man is brought to you by destiny, this is your karma partner, you have to be with this man, you have to learn something from this man, and so on and so on. So someone really might think, if he is hearing, oh, this man, this person is brought to me by destiny, someone who hears this will have a different understanding from the situation, because if you go with this combination by original instructions, the only thing you could say is the man you are dating or meeting will cause you misfortune or trouble or unpleasant situations, but he will never be a karma partner or a man brought by destiny. So it's only an uncomfortable situation with this person. And here it's maybe important to think if it's better to avoid this situation. The same with the heart, for example, or with the ring. Whatever kind of card you put beside the cross and you use this destiny karma thing, you will make a step in a strange direction, and in a direction that is not intended to be by the original instructions. So it's not destiny that brought the love or the relationship. It's not karma. It's not that you have to learn something by this love or by this relationship. It's just that this love is unfortunate. There isn't fortune in the love or in the relationship. So it's no positive time. That's the message. And Lenormand was created very simple, and it's important to keep it simple. Otherwise, you will get lost or move in a direction that isn't Lenormand anymore. So be careful what core meaning you put to your cards, because it has to be related in some understandable way, and we shouldn't forget when the cards were created and some things did not exist then. Okay, we move on, but in the original instructions, every meaning of the Lenormand card is still useful for today. Normally, it's not important to put 1,000 of meanings on a card. It's just important that you have to know at what light, at what direction, from what direction you're watching or reading the card. Okay, so this I wanted to share with you. This is now no thing set in stone. This is my opinion. I hope I could bring it a little bit more close to you, because to me it's very important that we keep the original language, the original words of the Lenormand cards alive. So enjoy your day. Hope to meet you with the next video. Bye.